Yo, what is going on, guys? Well, we're living in some crazy times right now. Definitely not the first to say that, but everything is just so unpredictable. And one of the biggest areas that's being affected right now is college. College is a place where people come together. It's a place where there's a big gathering happening basically 24/7. So it's no surprise that that's one of the biggest questions heading into the rest of the year is how colleges are going to handle it. Obviously, last semester, most colleges went with the all-online approach, which was not an easy adjustment process by any means, but it was able to get us through the rest of that semester. But colleges can't survive like that forever. They're losing a ton of money from that, and everyone's just eager to get back on campus as soon as possible, get in the swing of things again, even if it means the rules are changed a little bit. And for my class of 2020 peeps, my heart is with you guys. I can't imagine not having a graduation, not having an orientation and all of that stuff, but hopefully in a year or two it's all sorted out and y'all are gonna pull through and have the actual college experience and not whatever mess is gonna happen this year, which is what I want to make this video about. If y'all don't know me, I'm a rising sophomore at UNC Chapel Hill, and yesterday they sent out a full email detailing their initial fall 2020 plan and what they're going to do with every place on campus. And it's a pretty similar plan to what a bunch of other colleges are doing, but in this video I basically just wanted to quickly go through that email, talk about what I like, what I don't like, what's going to work, what's probably not going to work, how realistic it all actually is, and what the possibility is that we're just going to have all online again in the fall. Alright, so here's the email. This was sent at 11:50 a.m. on Thursday, which was yesterday at the time I'm recording this. And basically there's a whole message in front talking about our resilience and all that stuff, you know, the usual. but yeah, let me go through all the important parts of this right now. The first day of classes will be August 10th, which is 10 or 11 days earlier than scheduled, which might sound a little confusing why they're doing that earlier, but the whole reason is because they want to finish exams by August 24th, which is before Thanksgiving break, when in reality we'd usually have Thanksgiving break and then we come back for like 3 weeks and have finals during those weeks. And the reason they want to do that is to avoid the predicted second spike in COVID. It's supposed to come in late fall, early winter. So basically they just want to cram everything into that period and get us home by then so we don't have to come back until spring semester, which hopefully there's a vaccine or something by then. That's the logic behind that to my understanding. And they're going to eliminate fall break, which is only 2 days anyway, so it's not a huge deal. Class sizes will be adjusted to allow appropriate physical distancing, and entering and exiting will be through clearly marked one-way doors. This is a solid idea. I mean, it goes in line with everything that businesses and stuff have been doing now, but it's up to us as students to follow that, and I'm not 100% sure that all of us will, just knowing how college students are. So, time between classes will be extended to allow for physical distancing. Students and faculty can accept additional weeknight classes. That's not gonna be a fun change if it happens. I already hated my 4 p.m. class last semester. I couldn't imagine a 7 p.m. That's going to be terrible. And I can already imagine the whole scheduling mess that's going to create. My teacher was saying how finding classrooms and all of that is so challenging already. This is going to make it so much worse. For people that can't come to campus, they are going to make remote learning possible from anywhere. Classroom space and all of that's going to be reconfigured to adhere to physical distancing provisions. That makes sense. They're probably going to put tables further apart and keep 6 feet between seats. Residence halls, that's a big one, especially me because I'm staying in the biggest sophomore dorm next year. There's almost 1,000 people in it. So obviously you're going to be next to people in close quarters all the time, which is not going to be great. So they're going to keep it the same normal capacity. I can see how it would be such a hassle to change and figure out. I understand that, but they're setting aside 2 dorms, one to use for people who do test positive for COVID, which is nice to see. But that's also kind of saying that they're expecting to see COVID on campus, which I mean, I get it, but that's still kind of scary to hear. And the second one to people that have been exposed to COVID. That's going to be interesting. Move-in will begin August 3rd. That's in basically 2 months. That's crazy. Dining services. The dining halls are going to be only open to students with a meal plan, which cuts the amount of people, especially in the places where there's outside food like Chick-fil-A and stuff. That's going to cut the amount of people in half at least. And I can see why they did that, but that's probably going to make a lot of people upset. Dining tables and chairs and bathrooms are going to be sanitized and cleaned hourly. I would hope so. And they're going to try to promote mobile food ordering and takeout, which is fair. They're claiming that UNC Campus Health has robust testing capabilities when indicated, and state-of-the-art practices. I'm not sure how much I believe that, but UNC has been one of the colleges out front of fighting the virus, so I can see that. Ideally, I would want them to test everyone before entering the semester, but I don't know how possible that is. At least just have ready testing available during the semester. And that's basically the key points of this email. Obviously, they're just saying here that there's a bunch more announcements to come. Things could change, but if they don't, there's going to be a bunch of new guidelines announced. Okay, so as far as my overall thoughts on this plan go, first off, I'm glad that they're being optimistic. I'm glad that they're communicating with us that their goal is also to get us back on campus by fall. However, another part of me also thinks this might have been a bit too early of an announcement. The reason I say that is that there's new information coming out every single day that can influence this kind of huge decision that they have to make. So I think they could have benefited off waiting at least 2 or 3 more weeks to see how possible this actually would be, but I understand that it does take a very long time to plan everything out, so they want to get information out as soon as possible to all students and staff. For the specifics, the schedule is something that I'm pretty torn on. I can see why they did it, but the 2 main downsides I see are, one, because it's just from August to November now. It's still 4 months, but there's going to be barely any breaks within that, so it's going to be pretty tough to keep up. And also the whole not going back after break thing is kind of, to me, saying it's okay to bring whatever you catch here back to your families. Just don't bring it back to us, which I don't really like. But then again, I don't really see a better solution at this point in time if we do go back to campus. So it is what it is. I like the idea of having separate dorms for people who've been exposed to COVID and people who have COVID, as long as they get all the complications with that figured out, like when they're allowed to go out, where they're allowed to go to, how they're going to get food, will anybody be allowed in that dorm, stuff like that. The plan that they put in for meals and dining halls seems pretty good. They even said there might be an option for delivery or mobile order, which is going to be really cool and useful if they're able to successfully implement that. Now, the whole changing class times and walking patterns stuff to increase physical distancing, I get what they're going for, and you can control a certain amount of what happens inside a building, but you can't really control what happens outside of it. At UNC, at least, North Campus, which is where all the class buildings are and the union and stuff like that, it's basically fully packed from 9 a.m. to 4 p.m. every day. So I think controlling that flow of people is going to be nearly impossible, and that is definitely a worry that I have. I do like the whole hybrid plan that they've got going on for classes, where if it is a small class, there will be face-to-face instruction. With masks required, actually there's masks required basically at all times on campus. That was a pretty big part of the email that I forgot to read, but it's pretty common sense at this point. Any public space with that many people, there's going to be masks required. And if it's a lecture, all the lectures will be recorded and online on Zoom, but there might be small group meetings or recitations in person. And I'm pretty sure the threshold for that is classes above 50. That said, there is still a lot that remains unanswered, like what's going to happen to gyms. I have a job at a gym next year. I don't know what the heck is happening with that. How are sports going to be handled? I've heard that they're only going to keep football and basketball because that's what generates them the most revenue, but obviously with no spectators, what's going to happen there? How are they going to handle people coming in and out of the libraries, the student union, walking from South to North Campus? I don't know. So, do I see this plan working out? I'm not too sure. The thing is, with a lot of these plans, they're very reliant on college students and faculty doing everything perfectly, following all of these rules and guidelines. But like I said, just knowing college students and everything that surrounds it, it just takes a group of a few people to mess up everything, and honestly, that's just bound to happen. If we do go back, there's got to be super good testing available at all times, for sure. That's a necessity. So what do I predict will happen exactly? I think we will be moved back in at August at some point. I think they're pretty determined to get us back, and people are just going to be really confused on how to act and how to handle all of these new guidelines. And as soon as we're starting to figure it out, something bad's probably going to happen. Things are going to get worse, and we're going to be sent back home before November. So I hope that I'm wrong. Sorry for that pessimistic prediction, but that's kind of realistically how I see it going right now. Do I think there is a possibility of them just to shift to all online in fall before the semester starts? Definitely, but that isn't my prediction as of right now, at least. With all of that said, let me know what you guys, colleges or schools, are doing in the fall, or what they're planning on doing, what you want to happen, and what you realistically think is going to happen. And yeah, thank you so much for watching. Stay home, stay safe. I will see you later. Peace out.